What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. We're back with another one. Today's title is how to get promoted at work faster than your colleagues. I want to share a bit of my story on how I got promoted. These are some of the things that you should actually do in order to get promoted. I started working in a company, worked for a non-profit, started as a frontline staff, and I really worked my way up. This is my 5th year with that same company, and I had 3 different promotions to a shift manager, a supervisor, then a full-time manager. So in this video, I'd like to share some tips and some things that I did in order to get promoted faster. So the first thing on the list is definitely attitude. So as a hiring manager, the main thing we look for in a candidate is definitely their attitude, their ability to learn new things and open for new things, and how they act, their punctuality, and how they listen to feedback are some of the important things that hiring manager look for. So what I mean by attitude is listening properly, showing empathy, and being more flexible. These are some of the things. I know I said attitude, but these are some of the things that falls under that bracket. Your attitude makes or breaks the deal, and you can be the most hardest working person in that room, but if you don't have that attitude in you, it's going to be pretty tough. Try to work on a positive attitude. If you're naturally a positive person, it'll be easier for you, and you find like some of the customer service roles might be extremely easy, but some people naturally they don't try to have a negative attitude, or they do not mean anything bad, but the way they interact with the customer comes off as like passive aggressive. Maybe the tone they use, or they may not as smile as much, or they don't show more empathy or match the energy levels of the other people. So the second thing on the list obviously is building a really good relationship with your coworkers, your direct reports, or if you're a frontline staff, with your boss. Having open communication, spending that extra time to go and have a chat with your boss or your colleagues, and try to build that relationship. So building relationship is a huge skill, and not just in work life, but also is really important in your personal life. That's one of the skill that will take you so far, right? Even if you're not a people person, putting that effort to go talk to someone, just to check in or even say hi, goes a long way. It doesn't have to be a super long conversation with your colleague or your boss. It can be just as simple as, hey, how's it going? How's your day? Any big projects you're working on this week? Or even simple things like, how's your weekend? I know a lot of people do not like that question. Again, you don't have to overshare what you did on the weekend, especially if you don't like to share your personal life, and that's totally fine. Just the what truly matters is the effort, the extra effort, the extra mile you go to say hi, check in with your staff. Building relationship can also about sharing your hobbies, asking what they like to do, spending that extra time to like actually listen to what they actually like and really get to know about the person. This is a great tool. You don't necessarily have to do this just with your team, especially if you're working in a bigger company. And it's really important to share that, have a good relationship with different departments. Building that good rapport among your colleagues goes a long way. So the third tip is working smart. Everybody works hard. The fact that differentiates you between someone who works hard is definitely working smart, or thinking outside of the box just to come up with something. You don't have to follow the norm. This is where being creative comes in play, creating a more efficient system. So for example, you can either solve a problem but spending less money, or saving more time. If you're able to do, that's a huge W, right? It also makes you more efficient, more productive. You don't have to spend hours and hours. It's all about being efficient and how you're able to do that within your time, which obviously it takes some time, especially if you're new to a specific role. With proper strategic planning, you should be able to do that. So try to think outside of the box. You can also use AI tools, right? Copilot, ChatGPT. Again, don't be that person who send every email from chat or Copilot. It is okay, and I know a lot of us are dependent on AI these days, but try to use that to your advantage, which could save you some time. And obviously, check in with your workplace policies before using any AI. Don't just use AI because I told you to. Another important step is being coachable and your ability to take on feedback. One of my favorite questions to ask during an interview: how do you receive feedback? And it always makes a person pause and think for a second. No one likes feedbacks, let's face that. Feedback from our parents or teachers, friends. People don't like that, right? People don't like, getting scolded by someone. People automatically assume feedback is something negative, or it means you lack some skills or things like that. But at the end of the day, feedback is something, could be a positive thing for you. So again, it comes down to the first tip I mentioned about the attitude. Your attitude is everything. Let's say a client complained about some stuff that you did at work, or your boss is having a meeting with you, explaining the situation and whatnot. And your ability to, grasp what he or she says and able to gather that feedback in a really professional way without showing too much emotions. It's about listening without any ego and taking action and continuously improving yourself. People who get promoted faster, they're not always the most talented. They're always the ones who want to improve by taking action. So if you want to learn more about improving your skills, getting promoted at work, let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. Until next time.